You'll create the autoresponders in your account by going to the email marketing feature space. And then you can see there's a dedicated section for your autoresponder messages. And it by default brings you to the manage page for the different autoresponders that you already have set up, where you can view them and edit them. But additionally, you'll create new autoresponders from this view as well. And you can see some additional navigation tools you have, or sorting options, is for which lists in your account you want to view or create the autoresponders within. If you don't have any, it would look like this. Or additionally, you'd be able to view them in a calendar view if you wanted. So this is the list view, where they're all just, in a list. Or you can view them in a really handy calendar view, which represents the subscription days of contacts. So day 0 is the same day that a contact joins and signs up for your list. Day 1 is the day after someone has signed up. Day 2 is 2 days after that, and so on. Day 55 is the 55th day of their subscription with you. Of course, a calendar view doesn't necessarily refer to, of course, actual, months or days of the month, but rather this is referring to a subscription date, but a really, handy way to view it. And additionally here, this is where you can create a new autoresponder. And it's handy whenever you're building your autoresponder cycle. If you already have the messages that you want to include in your autoresponder cycle created, for example, creating it as a draft. If you went to drafts, create message, they would then be accessible here in the drafts, the messages that you wanted to create in your autoresponder series. Or, of course, it's no big deal, and you can simply create your autoresponder messages right here from within the calendar view. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a list for which I don't have any autoresponders and I want some. And I like to work in the calendar view, so we've got it selected here. And let's say I'm ready to create the day 0 message, or a message that someone receives immediately when they sign up for my brownie promotion list. And so I can choose to create it by choosing Create New button, or simply clicking on the day in the calendar view that I want to create a message for. And so I'll give this autoresponder message a name, but it's internal, so it only needs to be something that I'll reference. So I'll just say Brownie Day 0 Welcome. It's perfectly correct that it's on day 0. This looks good, but if I wanted to change it and actually have it be day 1 or whatever I wanted to do, I could simply enter in that new day number there. Then you need to make sure you specify which list. So this should be for my brownie promotions list. And you can also choose when to send this day 0 message, immediately, with some delay, things like that. But I want it to go out immediately. And these check boxes refer to basically when this message should be enabled. So if for some reason someone signs up and their day 0 falls on a Sunday, and you don't want them to receive this information, this welcome message, on a Sunday, you would simply uncheck that box. Then automatically the following day, on Monday, they would be sent their original day 0 message. So if for some reason you don't want a contact who signs up for your list on a particular day of the week to receive this message, you would simply uncheck it. But having them all checked means regardless of the day of the week they sign up, they will receive this message. And then we can choose or create our message. So if you did, as I mentioned before, and previously created these messages, for example, as newsletters or as a draft, you could access them all here. You'd see the name of the message and a preview, and you could simply just push them in really quickly right here, or you can go through the process and create a brand new email. So to do that, you simply choose Create New Email, and you'll see something similar, perhaps if you've already created some newsletters or some drafts, where again, you give this message a name, which is going to be internal. So say, Brownie Day 0 Welcome. Welcome, you'll love our brownies, just as an example. Set up and choose the desired from field and return reply email addresses if you wanted. And edit any distribution settings, additional options that you have here for your settings of this autoresponder message. You'll go to Next Step, and you'll choose the template that you would like to use for this message, so pre-designed or starting from scratch. So I've got a template available I can use. And then you'll open up the editor, and you can make any editing changes that you need to this message or template as you need to make it applicable for the list someone is signing up for and what the purpose of the message is. But let's say this is going to be good to go, and I'm going to go to the next step. And you can see we're now back to that initial settings page for creating the autoresponder. So it's got all the information I already entered, but you can see now eventually it will load the preview image, of course, as well. But this is that name I just gave that message, and this is going to be the template it's going to use. So you can save it, and it would actually save this autoresponder, but it wouldn't be enabled or start sending. And then save and publish would actually then make it so this autoresponder will start sending immediately whenever someone signs up for my list. So we can see it reloads my Manage Autoresponders page for my Brownie promotion list. And now this one is good to go. This is the message I just created. And now as soon as someone joins my Brownie promotion list, it will automatically send this message. If you needed this disabled for a moment, perhaps while you finish the rest of your cycle if you wanted, you could just turn it off. Or in that previous settings step, just click Save, and it would actually save the message, but it would be off. So you can turn it back on if you're ready to go, and then see additional editing options you have from this Actions menu. And then if you'd like to proceed and create more messages in your cycle, let's say, every couple of days, there's not going to be a limit on how many you create. So you can show lots more days if you want this to be a really long cycle. And then you just repeat the process. You click on the day, or you choose the Create New button, give your autoresponder a name, specify the day that this should be sent, your list, all the same things you just did. Keep it going throughout until you complete your cycle.